welcome, and I'm here to go through exactly how you go through and add a song using Audacity and Audacity files. You're probably familiar with the layout of Nutcracker. Under Nutcracker, under projects, you'll see a manage songs area. There's a couple of ways that you actually can manage songs. The main area that you want to actually add songs in is in the song manager area. But actually, before you even get started there, we need to start and set up your song in Audacity with the phrasing, which is a critical part. So wherever you have Audacity loaded, you want to pull up Audacity. I'm going to go ahead and open up something I've already done in using Christmas streams. And actually how you tag the files with the phrasing with the label tracks down here is covered by Sean in another demo. But it's really very simple. Basically, you would select the phrase you want, okay, and then you would go into here and then do an insert to actually insert the label regions, and then insert a label basically. So or you hit the Control B, which it's Command B on. I'm using a Macintosh, so it's Command B, but it's Control B on a PC. I use actually Macs and PCs equally, so I am familiar with both. But it's that simple. So you just add a track. That's how you add tracks to the Nutcracker. I'm sorry, to Audacity. Once you're done getting all your labels the way you want them, and then how you manipulate the labels and do all that, that's really within Audacity. And again, I'm pretty sure Sean's has a tutorial that covers that pretty well. Once you're done with your phrasing, what you want to do is do a file, export labels. You see this one right under file. When you click on that, it's going to ask you for a particular label to save this as. This song happens to be Christmas Dreams by TSO. And you want to make sure it's a text file and then run your save. Alright? And then once you've done that, what it'll end up doing, I went ahead and got out of Audacity. It'll actually save your file. And let me go to where my save this to downloads, I believe. Go up to and downloads. So Christmas Dreams TSO. You see it's a plain text document. You open that up, and this is what the file looks like. So it really has a start and end channel time and a actual the label that you put in here. Now, you can go in here and actually edit these if you chose to, so you could change the name of these things. You could actually edit the timings here if you wanted to. I usually just leave it alone. Then once you have that set up, so you have your Audacity export and of labels and the text file that you need, now is about the time to go ahead and add the new song. So you'll see I don't have this Christmas song in here. So Christmas Dreams. So we'll go ahead and type in Christmas Dreams TSO. I'm not sure what the URL is, so I'll just put in Google. Now in here is where you would actually add your Audacity text file. You simply click the Browse button, or you click in here, you can actually type in the value. Come down and find where you have your Christmas Dreams TXT file, your text file. That's your exported labels. Open that up, and you'll see that it just populates that. And just click Add Song. Now, if you look in here, you'll see now I have this thing called Christmas Dreams. I can edit this, and you'll see now that all those phrasings that came in from what we had in that text file. Okay. And I'll go ahead and cancel from here. But if you wanted to make changes, you can make changes within here. You can even delete phrases. You can add phrases. There's a lot to do. So like, let's say I want to add a phrase, split the ending in two, let's just say, and I click in here and do an add phrase. It has a new phrase, and I might put ending 2, and I'll split it, so I'll say it's 2:21 and it ends at 234, 344, 482. And then, of course, I'd want to change this to 224 so that they line up. I'll go ahead and make the changes. I really should probably have that go back to the edit. Anyway, that's okay. If we go back in and look at the edit, you'll see now that the ending 1 and ending 2 are there. You'll see that it does order it. Now, when you do the add phrase right here, you'll see that it actually adds it to the top, but it does sort these by the start time. So if you want to insert something in the middle, you just have to remember what you're doing up here when you do the add phrase command. It'll automatically sort these when you go back to do the edit. Now that we have our song in there and we have our phrasing done, now you can go in and do your project stuff. So you can go in and we can add this project. I can go down, you'll see that there is Christmas dreams in here. You can, I just have one target for this year. But you might have multiple targets. You can select what target you want the frame rate, submit the new song, and now you'll see I have a new project in here called Christmas Dreams. It pulls all that info in. I click edit, and you'll see all my phrasings in here. Now, that pretty much does everything you need to do to use Audacity to actually bring it in. Now, there is another way you can modify these files. So, let's say that you wanted to change the phrasing, but you already had a whole bunch of projects and stuff. You don't really want to change the song that you have in your library. So the way you can look at this is you have this thing called songs. This is sort of your library, your library of things that you're doing. You don't really want to change that. But you can go in your project and say, you know what, I don't want to use that default phrasing. I want to use a different phrasing that I had without touching the actual song. I don't want it to become my default every time I use this song. You can go into this, there's a button here called Load Phrases from Audacity File. If you click on that, it has all this crazy warning up front. And you can go in and select a file to actually to apply against this particular Christmas Dreams thing. As you can see, I already have a bunch of preloaded things in here, including Christmas Dreams. If you don't have the file doesn't show up in this list, it means you haven't uploaded the TXT file to the server. And to upload a file, all you have to really do is click this upload text file. And then in here, it's basically the same thing as when you're adding the song. You just want to go down to where your phrase list is, click it, say OK. And then from here, click upload file. I'm not going to do it because I already have it. Now, I'll show you though how this works. I already have some called Mad Russian, and these are actually for TSO's Mad Russian song. If I click on that, and you'll see this has 9 phrases, and I select that for input, you'll see now I did that against Christmas Dreams. I go into Christmas Dreams, and you'll see my phrasing is now totally changed. Now, obviously, it's not correct for this particular song, but just to show that that's a way to do it. So let me go ahead and change it back to the way it was. The way I can do that is, again, just go through this, select Christmas Dreams TSO, select File for Input, and then as soon as I click Edit, you'll see that my phrasing is back to where it was before. Alright, so from here, I'm not sure if you really needed to go through projects, but you can add your effects and do whatever it is that you want to do. Again, make sure that you click Save when you're done, just so that your effects will show up down in the box. And I'm just picking a few things just to show that that works. And then from here, you would obviously, when you're done figuring out what exactly you want to do with your project, you select your output and output your project from there. So, in a nutshell, hopefully this will help you understand how to manage these songs and do other things. Another thing to know is that you do have the ability to remove songs from here if they're songs you own. You notice there are global songs that are owned by the user F, which is our default admin user. You obviously can't edit those unless you were actually logged in as F. But we do provide them to you so that you can get the default phrasing from those. But if you want to create your own, that's basically how you do it. So the steps are go ahead and create your label file within Audacity. Export your label file from Audacity, save it to a location that you know. I usually put it in downloads. Then from there, you're going to add a new song. And in add new song, fill out the information. The key is when you look for the Audacity file, go to where you saved it, and then click the add song. I went ahead and canceled, but when you do, it'll show up in here. You can go into edit just to validate or verify that this is the way you want it. Now you notice that I still have this change that I had with the ending and ending too. If you look in our projects, and then from here you would go into projects, add your song, etc. Now you should notice that when I look in here, ending 2 doesn't show up. That's because, remember, we went through and reloaded the text file, which does not have that ending 2. We did that manually on the song itself. Now if we went into projects now, and let's say we added another project, and let's say I do Christmas streams and I do it to a different target, you'll see that this one that's on my test model, you'll see that it actually has the ending 1 and ending 2 because that's what we have set up in our song, in our library, basically our library of songs with phrases. Whereas the TXT file we actually created does not have that ending 2 split. Hopefully it didn't confuse you too much there. I'm going to go ahead and remove this. And then, so that's basically using songs in a nutshell. I hope that helps. If you have any questions, you can feel free to PM me. I know that this particular area is for song editing songs and doing songs. I didn't spend a whole lot of time coding, so there's probably not the best of error checking and other things that could probably be improved. And I always look for that type of feedback because I'd love to continue to improve the product. All right, I will talk to you soon. Thanks.